What is going on, everybody? It is Giants Nick here, back with another YouTube video, and today I'm going to be going over the next in my series of team previews with the Pittsburgh Steelers. But obviously you can see it's Pittsburgh Steelers, but before we start, like the vid, sub to the channel, check out the other videos I got in the channel. I have a whole playlist of these NFL previews. I'm going to be going into the North NFC and AFC North, so we're going to begin with the Steelers. I did the AFC East and the NFC East last week, so check those out. I did every team, their entire records, including that 17th game that was added to the schedule. I did it as a theoretical then, and it was announced yesterday that it's going to happen, so we were kind of ready for this sort of thing. But here we go. So the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't like what they did this offseason. I don't think a lot of people like what they did with this offseason. Poor offseason, I think, Ben needed to go. That was number one. Ben needed to go, and they needed to draft a quarterback. It's not happening now. Ben took a contract cut, which he was one of the highest paid quarterbacks before then, unbelievably. And so, definitely need to move on from him. Big Ben is just a bad quarterback, simply put, bad quarterback. And, a lot of Steelers fans agree with me. I have a friend who, he's a big Steeler fan, and every day he tells me, he's like, I can't believe they kept Ben. He was awful last year. They have no run game. They even lost James Conner. They lost James Conner, and they already didn't have a run game. What are they going to do? I don't know. I don't think the Steelers are going to be good this year. I really don't. They did one thing, though. They brought back Juju. That's it. That's literally the only thing they did. They signed Juju back for a 1-year, $8 million deal. I hated this signing so much for many reasons, but the most important reason is the Steelers are like a wide receiver factory. They get wide receivers in the late rounds better than anyone I've ever seen. Antonio Brown was a late-round pick. Emmanuel Sanders was a late-round pick. Claypool was a third-round pick. James Washington, I believe, was a fifth-round pick. Come on. Deontay Johnson was another late-round pick. You know what I mean? I can't fathom the fact that they have Deontay Johnson, James Washington, and they have Chase Claypool, and they still re-signed Juju for no reason. No reason. There was no reason to bring Juju Smith-Schuster back. He's not been good in 2 years. He's not. He's not a number one, and he clearly struggles without a dominant number one on the field. Very disappointed with this signing. I don't think they did a good job here. And they did a lot of things that just confused me. Why would they get rid of Vince Williams? Why? I know Devon Bush is coming back, but he tore his ACL last year. He's going to need time to adjust. And yes, I understand that's what you have Robert Spillane for, but I really, it was a surprise cut for most of the league. It's a surprise cut for me. I don't think they should have cut Vince Williams. I really don't understand. Steven Nelson. How did the Steelers get rid of Steven Nelson? He was arguably better than Joe Hayden last year. I don't think he was better, but he was arguably better than Joe Hayden last year. He's a good corner. And so they got rid of him too, and I can't understand why. And he got a cheap deal. So, I don't get this. I really don't. Bud Dupree walking, I get. He wanted too much money. He was expensive. I get it. However, it's still Bud Dupree. When he went down last year, the entire defense changed. It changed drastically. You could tell that there was a sway in the tides for the Steelers, when he went down. And they were never the same after that. And I talked a little bit about Devon Bush, but getting rid of Vince Williams makes no sense. Devon Bush so far he's shown he's a good football player. Devon Bush is a good football player. He's ferocious. He's nasty. He hits hard. Good tackler. He's getting better and better in the coverage, but he did tear his ACL last year. He tore his ACL, and it's important to remember when he goes down with an ACL, it's going to take time for him to get completely ready and back on the field the right way. It's very similar with linebackers and running backs, where you kind of need to work on load management. I think load management is really, really important, especially now that he's a major part of their team, and they're relying on him so much. I don't understand why you would put him at risk. And they let Alejandro Villanueva walk. So I know they made some re-signings. Cassius Marsh, here and there. But I don't get it. Like, Villanueva is still a free agent. I think you can bring him back. Do it. I know he's not great. I know that. I know Steelers fans and Bengals fans argue all the time. Shaq Lawson beats up on him. I get it. But sign him back. You need him. Your quarterback can't move. You have no offensive line. I mean, DeCastro was beat up last year. I'm not sure how he'll play this upcoming year. You got to do something. I mean, Villanueva is just, you need him back. It's not even about him being an elite player, because he's not. He's a solid player. I argue maybe he's good, but he's a solid player at best. At worst. You need him. Well, I kind of left this up, but we're going to go back through it. I had a take that went a little sour before posting this one, so don't worry. You'll see all my predictions and why I do this. All right. So, here we go. So, Pittsburgh Steelers 2021 opponents. Like I said, I think the Steelers are going to be a bad team this year. They did not do a lot. That I like. If they get like Najee Harris, Travis Etienne, maybe I change a game or two, but I don't really think so. So, here we go. So, we're going to start over here with the Baltimore Ravens. I struggle to understand how they would beat the Ravens. I don't get it. I don't think they can. I don't even think it's close. I don't think they beat the Ravens. The Bengals. I have them sweeping the Bengals, not because the Bengals are bad, but because the Bengals aren't ready yet. That's the only reason they would beat the Bengals. They're not. The Browns usually don't win in Pittsburgh. I know it's kind of like a weird thing to say, but they usually don't win in Pittsburgh. So, I give them a win against Chicago. No one has any idea what Chicago just did in the offseason. No one has any idea. Well, what is wrong with them? I don't know. Andy Dalton's their QB1. That's all that needs to be said. I've been through this a lot. I hate the Broncos. I hate what they're doing. I hate their team. I don't like anything that's going on. Drew Lock is still a huge problem. And I think it's a mistake to roll with him again. The Lions are a dumpster fire. That's a win right there. Let's not stunt. Let's not say, that's a win. That's a win. The Raiders, I'm going to give them a loss. Pittsburgh has had the Raiders numbers for a few years, but, I think the Raiders are going to beat them this time. I just struggle to see where they're going to put up the amount of points they need to win games. I really do. And the defense can't hold every game like they did last year. And when they faltered down the stretch, you saw the Steelers lose games. Tennessee's going to be another loss. I talked about this earlier. I know they lost Arthur Smith, but they're going to lose. The Ravens, another loss. Are you surprised? I'm not. I wouldn't expect them to beat the Ravens at all. I don't expect them to beat the Ravens whatsoever. Like I said, I'm having the sweep in the Bengals, not because the Bengals are a worse team, but more because Pittsburgh's had their number, and they're not ready yet. The Bengals, they're not ready to compete yet. Joe Burrow's got to get that knee right, and he's got to readjust. They're going to beat the Browns, or they're going to lose to the Browns in Cleveland. The Browns kind of struggled against them last year, but I think the Browns are getting better and better. So they have no chance against Buffalo. Frankly put, Buffalo curb stomped them last year. I expect the same. They can't even go near Green Bay. Absolutely not. They can't. They can't even compete with Green Bay. They're the same with the Chiefs. They won't compete with the Chiefs. I have them beating the Chargers, but I could see this going the other way if Herbert is a superstar again and he plays really well. I just don't see how the Steelers. I don't think the Steelers have enough offense. They overbought on receivers. They have no running backs, and their quarterback's a gazillion years old. And I have them losing to the Vikings. So right now, this is before their 17th game, which was announced a couple days ago. I have the Steelers at 7-9, and with the 17th game, 7-10. The 17th game is against Seattle Seahawks. I don't care where that game is; they're not winning it. Russell Wilson will tear them to shreds, and if not, then Seattle has an okay pass defense. I just don't see the Steelers being able to keep up with Seattle. I mean, Seattle's just getting better offensively. Their offensive line got better. They just signed Gabe Jackson to an extension. Tyler Lockett just got an extension, while recording this video. So I don't think they'll beat Seattle. But yeah, this is my prediction for the Steelers. 7-10. It's ugly. Ugly. I know. But that's the offseason they had. Ugly. Bad. I didn't like it. I don't like anything they did. I was really disappointed. I don't expect the Steelers to be a good team this year. I don't. And, you could talk to a bunch of Steeler fans. Some of them have blind faith, but a lot of realists really realize and they understand, and they've said it to me, that keeping Ben is the reason they're going to be bad. They kept him too long. A lot of them didn't want Ben back last year. He's past his way. He's years past his prime. It's clear that AB and Bell were holding him up, and he doesn't have that anymore. So that is it for my Steelers prediction video. Thank you for watching the vid. Like the vid, sub to the channel. Check out the other vids on my channel. I got a lot on the playlist for NFL previews. So thank you guys for watching and have a good one.